The Harry Potter anime you've always wanted is real. Kind of. Hey guys, it's Mike here. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching this video, which is a great one, by the way. If you like nerd culture, pop culture, all of that stuff, TV, film, music, games, all of it, subscribe to my channel. I just do videos like this, pop culture based videos talking about news and thoughts and opinions on pop culture kind of stuff, particularly in the nerd culture realm. Please subscribe, thumbs up, and comment your thoughts down below after the video. I would love that. Okay, let's get into it. So recently I was on a trip to Japan, my 4th trip, by the way. It's an awesome country. You should go there. That's a side note. And whenever I'm in Japan, I really like just walking through bookshops. Well, basically whenever I'm in any country that's not my own, I just like going through bookshops, seeing what I find. But Japan is really interesting because of all of the manga there, that is the Japanese comic books, and I was perusing through a bookshop at Kyoto Station when what do I stumble across but this? A manga series called Mashle, Magic and Muscles, which as soon as I looked at it reminded me of a certain wizarding franchise here in the West called Harry Potter. You might have heard of it. As soon as I saw this manga, I was just like mind blown because 1, I was surprised that I had never heard of it before, but 2, I was so intrigued because it so clearly looked inspired by the Harry Potter franchise and almost too inspired, if you know what I mean. And for a long time on the internet, I've seen a lot of posts being like, what if Harry Potter was an anime? And people have mocked up art styles of how characters would look in anime form. But honestly, you probably don't need that anymore because this is that. This is literally that. Mashle was first published in 2020 and borrows heavily from the lore of Harry Potter, not in the least of which is the fact that the main character, Mash, is an orphan boy in a magic world who ends up having a lightning bolt shaped mark on his face. Mash ends up going to the Eastern Magic Academy, which looks like this, by the way. If you're trying to tell me that isn't just Hogwarts, then I don't know what to tell you. It's just Hogwarts. He meets various teachers, including the headmaster of the school, who is definitely not Dumbledore, gets sorted into one of 3 houses by the sorting skeleton unicorn, which is a bit different to the sorting hat admittedly, but is still in principle the same kind of thing. The 3 houses all have animals for mascots. One is an orca. I can't remember the other 2. Oh, and this teacher who runs the sorting definitely isn't Professor McGonagall. And he then meets several of the students, including this blonde-haired boy who becomes his ongoing rival, whose father is in a high-up position in the Magic Board of Directors, or whatever they call the Ministry of Magic in this show. It is hilarious, and then it gets even worse when he starts participating in the magic sport played on broomsticks called Duello, where players try to get a ball through a hoop while flying around a pitch. The similarities are remarkable, but I guess what makes Mashle interesting is not its similarities to Harry Potter, but actually how it differs from Harry Potter and how it kind of funnily subverts the expectations that you have of a genre like this. Because while I am hamming up the similarities, which are definitely there are a few things that make this quite unique. The first one being that in the Harry Potter franchise, Harry Potter has the lightning bolt scar, whereas in the world of Mashle, all magic people have what is called a mark on their skin, on their face, which shows that they are magic. Mashle, who actually, and here's the big twist, doesn't have any magic powers, doesn't have a mark until he makes one himself. So first and foremost, instead of Mashle being like the Harry Potter chosen one child, he's actually not special in this world at all and goes to this school knowing that he doesn't have any magic powers. Instead, he relies on physical strength and muscle, and that is the next big change. Essentially, because Mash can't do any magic at all, he literally just uses his fist, which is really subversive because a lot of the time when you're watching Harry Potter, you kind of just think, well, why can't they just punch Voldemort in the face 100 times? Why can't they just swarm him, right? Jump him and punch him in the face? Or better yet, just stab him or shoot him or something like that. In this show, that's literally kind of what happens. Everyone is using these fancy magic spells against Mash, and he kind of just punches them in the face to beat them, like a normal person would. It really subverts this entire genre of magic when you just kind of break it down to punching in the face being better. It does remind me of another anime manga that I watched in the past called One Punch Man, which is really subversive of the superhero genre. In fact, I would say it borrows a lot from that show. If you're not familiar with One Punch Man, it's essentially about a world of superheroes competing to be the very best and very strongest superhero, and then you have the main character Saitama, One Punch Man, whose power is that he can just beat everyone with one punch. And instead of that making him feel really accomplished and feel like the strongest, he actually feels really let down and really disappointed and really upset because he can't find anyone worth challenging. He can't find anyone to meet his strength, which is deflating for him. He doesn't feel like there's any challenge. I ended up watching the first season of the Mashle anime, and it was quite funny. The comparisons are really interesting, and you have to laugh at a lot of it, but at the same time, I appreciate what they are doing to subvert the genre in a very Japanese shonen style way. If you are a Harry Potter fan and want to see more, I definitely recommend you reading a couple chapters of this manga or watching the anime. It is just so surreal and amazing that this hasn't been picked up kind of wider around the world, because it is just remarkably similar. I know there have been a lot of Harry Potter kind of piggyback shows and movies over the years, but this one was the one that really, really stood out to me as trying very hard to specifically call out to the popularity of Harry Potter. Seriously guys, Mashle, Magic and Muscles, you have to check it out. It is great, and I am so glad I just stumbled across it in a bookshop in Japan. Hey, thank you so much for watching my video. You can subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. Thumbs up, comment below, did you know about Mashle? Have you heard of it before? If you have, what do you think? What do you think of the comparisons to Harry Potter as well? Is it, I don't know, in breach of copyright? I'd love to know your thoughts. As well as that, you can subscribe to me on Patreon to help support me if you like my videos. That would mean a lot. Thank you to all my Patreon supporters already. And as well as that, you can check out my podcast, right? I actually do a podcast, which is a Harry Potter fan fiction podcast where I read Harry Potter fan fiction that I wrote when I was 13 years old. It's called Harry Potter and the Boys, and it's available wherever you podcast. I'd love for you to check that out. And for now, I will see you in another video. Thank you so much for watching. My name has been Radio Mike, and this has been The Inside of My Mind. Catch you later.